prayer in Granbury, Texas. Oh yeah, that's awesome. So we're expanding. And I went out a few weeks ago, and it's just so wonderful to be with the ladies in Granbury. And we just believe the Lord that after a while we're going to have a house of prayer in Kenya. So we bless God today. Then I look in the back and I see another group. Some of the group that started with me. Where's Mother Booker? Mother Booker, will you just stand wherever you are? Mother Booker, will you just stand? Mother Booker started with me.
She's looking off.
I think she's probably one of the older ones. And then in the back, Ruthie, would you stand? Ruthie Thomas, Cheryl Daly, Cheryl Moore. They started with me from St. John. So I praise the Lord for them. And I think the rest of the people that are here, I think that's right, have just been added. And this is a different crew than what was here the last time we had a prayer breakfast. Frances, who did the prayer, she came on board somewhere in between there. And so we're just growing. And I praise the Lord that He's just blessing us, and we just keep right on growing. It's wonderful to see what the Lord does, isn't it? It's wonderful. Now, I couldn't do what I do without Brother Epps. So, my honey, that you just said, I always say he's the queen of my coffee, my lover, my friend, my spouse, my Lord, my helper, everything. Amen? So we bless God for him. I couldn't do what I do without Brother Epps. So we just thank God for all of you. All of you are special. We welcome our live audience today. We're streaming live. And so we welcome you today, and we pray that you will be blessed by what's going to be presented today. We are connectors. Belinda kind of taught me that about 5 or 6 years ago. We are connectors. It just so happens that Karen and I can't remember where we were, but we were sitting down somewhere talking. Come on up, Karen Kelly. Karen was with me, and I was with Karen. And I can't remember. I don't remember how we even got together. But Karen and I were talking, and we were talking about the prayer center, the resource center. And Karen started talking about Linda Strong. Is that correct? Kind of tell us a little bit how, so we can tie Tina, because Karen and Tina have never met.
Never met. I'm like, I want to know where Tina is. I said, come in and talk about this. But I want to talk about connecting, because it's all about following the leader, the Holy Ghost. So a year ago, a friend of mine mentioned, she's connected with Chuck Pierce. And we hadn't seen each other in years. And I'm walking into a restaurant, and I look, and there's Becky Castle. It'd been like 8 years. And so the next week we had breakfast, and she told me about Helen. Well, I work for the YMCA, and one morning I get up. I'm doing this tour with a friend of mine who's a pastor at Gateway in Southeast Fort Worth, because we were building a new Y there. And I wake up, and Helen's on my mind. My heart, I've never met her. So I get the number from Becky. I call her. I say, can you come meet me at Southeast Fort Worth for a tour? And she's like, she knows Southeast Fort Worth. She doesn't need to do a tour. But we met. We connected that day. And then Linda Strom I met because I went to Africa with my mom. I didn't want to go. No, I've been before. I love Africa. I know I'm called to it. And I think that was it. It was just that wrestling in my spirit. Over, I wanted so bad to be connected with what God has. I came home. God gave me a scripture out of Psalms 90, and it's a Psalm of Moses, and he said, Lord, establish the work of our hands for us. Well, that started a journey that within a year and 3 months, I'm working for an organization based in Cape Town, South Africa, called Black Tribe. Well, Linda Strong went to South Africa because she is like, oh my goodness, she's like the mother of prison ministry. Yes. She has such a heart. And so she went to Africa to minister in prison. She met my boss, Anthony, who's the pastor, that goes down to the local prison every week. That's just down the street. Ministers all over Cape Town. So then when he came last October, we drove through Temple and had lunch with Linda. It was the first time I met her. And so then, once I met Linda, Linda's like, well, can we find a place for, who was it? Well, I can't remember right now. It's too early in the morning. And so since then, it's just been this connecting, and Discipleship Unlimited needed a place. For review. Yeah, to come together and to be. And so here we are. And so I just, in what I'm telling you today, I'm just encouraging you, follow the leader. He'll take you places you'd never expect. And there are people you don't know that just that, he brings us, I mean, here we are. Every single one of us today, and maybe a year ago we had no idea we'd be here with the people we're sitting next to. And it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Amen. And I have goosebumps talking. So, Tina. This is Tina Washington. Come on up.
See how God works? See how God, y'all go this way, huh? See how God works? It's about connecting. We're all connected, and that's what God intends for us to do, is to connect with one another. Tina and their group came to the Resource Center because that's what we were praying that the Resource Center would be about, that we would be a house that could provide a house for somebody else. House in the sense of gathering place. We are a place of gathering. So when I met Karen, and then I had never met Linda until they all came to our house. I met Tina and her friend from Burleson, and they came, and then Tina was such a wonderful, exciting young woman. She's a seamstress by nature, an awesome seamstress. She took those gold drapes that we dug out of a different place, cut them, resewed them. So now those drapes are not only in my house, but they're in the House of Restoration. And then we put some in the Cookie's kitchen. So Tina's an awesome seamstress. She's a mother. She's a wife. And she really doesn't need any introduction. I'll let her do whatever's in her heart. But Tina will bless you. Come on, let's show her some love.
Thank you so much. Women of God, women of worship, women of word, women of worship. We're just so happy to be here. Thank you, Helen. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, God, for the opportunity to be able to be here before everybody. You all look so beautiful. This is just amazing. God is just awesome in what he does when he connects us. I left my paper coming up here so I can get that, please. But he's just awesome in how he connects us. So if we stay connected to him, he connects us to the right people. And he has a track record of doing that. If you read through his word, if you stay connected to him, he connects you to the right people all the time, in the right places, all the time. You're never going to be out of place. You're never going to be out of time. You're going to be in the perfect place, in the perfect time, if you're connected with God. So thank you, Helen and Karen, again, for this connection. I come before you as humble as I can be. I have always had a nervous issue. So if I stutter, y'all just pray real quick for me. Just pray like God help her. Yeah. Because I really want to share what God has on my spirit to share. Of course, Karen has already told you how we became connected. Linda Strong is like my mentor, spiritual mother that I met because she has a faith dorm in the prison. And so I went through I'm just going to give you a small, quick background before I go into what I want to share today. I had a small bad choice, mistake in relationships, encountered a domestic violence situation, which led me to my pit, which was in prison. But we all know the story of Joseph, that he was routed through a pit before he reached the palace. And so that was my embrace of the people that God connected me with on the inside, starting with Linda Strong through the faith dorm. Of course, you know, God knows how to clean a house, so he'll clean out all the ones you don't need in that route. He gave me new friends and new family members to journey with me to the palace, because everybody that you meet inside the pit can't go to the palace with you. Everybody that's before the pit can't go to the palace with you. So God knows how to clean it up, and he surely knew how to do that with great leaders, staying connected and following the leaders under the leadership of Linda Strong, through Discipleship Unlimited, through my other mentor mom, Carla, who is, or was the coordinator at that time, who pretty much put the classes together that helped us draw closer to God. We went through a series of classes that taught you how to not try to survive on mama's prayers, on grandmama's prayers, on the Sunday school teacher prayers, on the church prayers, but how to have your own prayer relationship with Christ for yourself. And so thank God for that connection, because today I'm in the palace foyer, headed to the palace, which is to me God in heaven. That's the ultimate palace. So this is part of my journey. With sharing part of my story, it's so many elements to it. So I said, God, what is it that you would like for me to share today? And so one of the biggest issues we have when we're journeying from the pit to the palace is the burdens the blessings of disguised as burdens. Anybody ever experienced any of that? Yes. We have blessings that are disguised as burdens. But we don't want to be blindsided by them. So as Joseph, he had a few of those. God gave him a vision. God gives us visions. He gave me visions. So even with me making mistakes, he still gave me visions. His promises are going to stay. But I had to stay focused and not be blindsided by the blessings that were disguised as burdens. So I want to call this part of my testimony the steps in the journey to the palace from the pit, but not being blindsided by the blessings disguised as burdens. I love using the Bible and God's people as a roadmap because he created that for us. And I draw closer to my Father through the connections and commitment fostered through my faith by focusing on those roadmap people in the Bible. Joseph is the one I'll be paralleling with today. Joseph in Genesis had issues. He had inspiring instructions along the way. I had those too. Sometimes we may miss them, but it's okay. God takes mistakes and works miracles all the time with them. So again, don't let that blindside you. It assisted him in the process of growing stronger in his faith. Because what he did know is that God was always with him. I knew God was with me because God told me he would be with me. No matter where I went, no matter what I did, he would be with me. But it was up to me to believe that even in the midst of all the adversities, all the challenges, all the obstacles, all the mistakes, all the errors, all the bad decisions. So I just trusted him. And he continued to place the right people that I trusted him to connect me with on this journey. This was a personal situation. I came home from prison. And of course, we all have issues that we abruptly have to leave once you go to prison. Because it's kind of one of those things that they do it and you go. And now you don't have time to take care of those things that you probably had unattended to prior to that situation. And so I had to address those things. Now I could have been blindsided by those things. But I have to remember that God works all things for my good. That too will blindside you if you look at that burden that is really a blessing in disguise. It can blindside you. So I had some obligations, tickets and warrants and things like that, you know, blending back with my family, my children, trying to make sure I stay connected with the people that God connected me with on the inside, you know, finding me a church home that I could be truly fed, the truth, to keep my foundation steady, you know, because every now and then you have to do some remodeling, some updating and things like that, you know, your foundation has been laid. So I had a lot of work to do. So it's easy when you have a big list of things to do to get blindsided when obstacles arise. And so I'm en route to take care of some of my obligations because, of course, that's what I need to do. God has taught me how to be responsible and not run from my mistakes. Running from mistakes is what I call blaming other people. I don't believe in blaming people. I believe that you have to own it, every single thing. And with owning it, you become responsible. And you no longer run away, but you run to it and you face it like David with the giants. Because again, God will never, ever, ever give you more than you can handle. He's always with you through it all, but you have to trust him in the midst of it. So en route to take care of my obligations, you know, I encountered favor. You know, God is faithful when you're faithful to him to give you favor. But then I also ran into those issues that would not be favorable. You know, I went to a judge out in Grand Prairie, and he's Caucasian, and he said, "Oh, time served." Oh, God, thank you for the favor. You know. So then I come over to Oak Cliff to a judge. He's Hispanic, and oh, wow, time served. Oh, that's God's favor. Then I come to my neighborhood over in south side of Dallas, and I go to the courts, and it's an African-American judge. He said, "No, my sister, you will not be getting time served. You will be giving me something. You can give me some money, you can go to jail, or you can do community service." Now, I'm on parole. I have things to think about, make better choices. My first mind is to go sit it out, but I just came home and I really didn't want to sit it out because there will probably be an issue with parole. Better choice making. I don't really have much money. I'm still trying to get established. I'm pretty much just under the mercy of my family, which have been by my side. But I have to be responsible on how God blesses me and uses my resources. I don't want to take advantage of those things. Those things got me in the pit, decision making. So I didn't have the money. So my option was community service. And so with that, I was thinking, okay, well, I can pretty much do this. I just came from the pit, prison. I've been through quite a bit of things. God has strengthened me. Surely I can do community service. Surely it wouldn't be something that I just cannot handle. Surely. But it was a burden because I felt that was unfavorable. How could he not give me time to serve? I just did time. Look at my record. But God has something bigger inside of there. I did experience a domestic violence relationship. That meant it was a bad relationship. In my mind, I already programmed it that I was just going to be settled by myself, me and Jesus, and the people that he connected me with. We pretty much, not a relationship with the spouse, but with my kids, with people in the ministry, my family. I had limited. But I'm so glad that God's thoughts and ways are bigger than mine. Because I would have missed the major blessing that was covered by our burden by me having to do those community service hours. So I'm en route to go sign up and do my paperwork via what the judge instructed me to do. And I get to the community service office. And I'm greeted by some not so happy people, 6 in the morning. I'm included with them. But I'm going to be obedient because obedience is a sacrifice. And when you are obedient, you will be blessed for being obedient in that sacrifice. So I showed up as I was told to do, and I signed up and got everything set up to go. They gave me my schedule, and I got my team that I was going to be designated with to do my 297 hours. 297 hours I had to do, which was nothing, because I met people who had like 1,000 hours. Like, they must have a job when they leave community service with the county, but I had 297 hours, and I hear my brain saying, get it done. I remember being on the inside, and I was on the host squad, which is like the field, you work the fields. Pretty hard labor when you're not used to mowing your own yard. And so with that strength being built doing that, I used to hear the guard say, get her done. So in my brain, just get her done. People don't complete things because they just don't get her done. They'll find things to say, oh, I just have the spirit of procrastination. Oh, today I'm just not feeling it. Today I have something else that came up, I can't do it. Just get her done.
Amen.
When you want something, you want God to just get her done.
Yes.
But we're quick to not just get her done. So I can hear those things that were planted in my mind during my pit experience that on my journey to the palace is just get it done.
Amen.
So I said, I'm going to get all of my hours done off the bat. I don't have nothing else. I don't have a job. I don't have any other obligations. What could be standing in my way besides getting it done? Besides flesh. I couldn't blame it on anything but my flesh. Where in the past we would blame it on everything but the flesh. The devil, my family, the world. It's us. All we have to do is say, get her done.
Amen.
And so I said, day one, this is it. So I got my signing sheet and it had a name on it. And so there's a George Allen court building downtown. And so I saw the name George on my card. And I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm going to probably be on the crew that's going to the George Allen building. Well, I don't know that my future has written his name and claimed me, unauthorized claimed me in my mind on my card. But again, that was a burden. I could have been blindsided and missed it had I addressed it inappropriately. But I didn't. I just followed pursuit. And I said, okay, well, where am I going to go? I got this person's name on my card. Oh, that's me. You're going to be back on my team when you come back. I'm like, okay, well, I'll be back. I'll be here to get all of my hours done. And you'll be seeing me for 297 hours. Well, it didn't exactly go like that because he kept asking, but I really didn't want to share it. So I'm thinking, you know what time I have to do. Because then when you report, people know your background. And you kind of have that mentality thinking everybody knows your background. You have this ex. Everybody know you're a sinner. Everybody know you got all this time. So I had that mentality that God needed God to help me shed that. So he asked, and I was like, oh, I have a lot of hours to do, so I've been around for a while with you, sir. But anyway, I got my card, I did my first day. It was really, really good. It was a great experience. I thank God for His grace and mercy, because even when it seems as though we're reaping what we've sowed, God's grace and mercy can lace it so wonderfully that you don't even really feel like you're experiencing the punishment of it all. That's just how good He is. God is just good. And so, in the midst of it, I encountered a great conversation with a supervisor named George Washington. And so, during that time, I had a lot of hours. So we had a lot of time of bonding, but I had also took a lot of courses on how to make better decision making with all types of relationships, not just relationships with the opposite sex, relationships with friends, relationships with my children, relationships with my parents, relationships with my future jobs. So I learned how to make better decision makings in relationships. But also, I learned how to be more submissive in relationships. And that's one of the biggest things with a woman who has been called with her strength, is not knowing how to get in place to be submissive in the right place. And so, because my boss was my future husband, I was learning undercover how to be submissive and obedient and how to be in order. God knows how to lace things inside of there to work it all at once. If you really just connect, get her done, be focused, and be obedient. But the key is being obedient and having faith in Him. And so, as I was going through my community service hours, mind you, it's 297, and I have to say it all the time. It reminds me of almost like saying my time I did in prison. You know, it's like I did these many years in prison. I did this much time doing community service. I have to remind myself so it makes me stay focused to make decision better making. And so, as I was doing that time, I didn't realize I was going through my courtship. But I was. I was also going through my interviewing stage, as he would call it, my patrol. Patrol? That sounds real biblical, Joseph, in the New Testament, the Old Testament. But anyway, but during that time I was courting. But I didn't realize I was courting because I was throwing myself witnessing. Like, you know my number, you can't have my number. Because normally you meet someone, you're giving your number maybe after the first encounter. He didn't get my number. He asked my number. That's not professional. I'm here to get my hours. You may be kind of fun and cute, but you're not getting my number. They would not be writing me up. I would not be losing my time. I would not be going back to the pit. I flash back easily. And so he didn't get my number until I did 297 hours. It was 2 years later. He didn't compliance to not only the man's law, but God's law, because God says, obey man's law. And that would be fraternizing in my book and in the county's book. My husband works for Dallas County. And so, because I was being obedient to, and it is difficult, it's challenging, we're human. You know, when you want to talk to someone that you met that may be fun for conversation and you're lonely sometimes, and God knows we need that other individual, be it female or male, family, kids, you know, you want to talk, but I couldn't talk. I had to talk to Jesus without George, to George, through Jesus. And it was actually really fun, talking to God, for George, to George, with George, through God. It sounds complicated, but it's really not in God's will. It's always in God. But that was new for me. It was new for me. On this journey from the pit to the palace, because I've been experiencing domestic violence, I was very fragile. You know, my thinking of anything that could be said could easily offend me. I'm already an ex-offender. I don't need to be easily offended. They ain't making me make a bad decision. So I had to seek God's face consistently just to make sure I stayed focused and trusting Him in this new relationship so we don't abuse each other. Because abuse is a two-way street. Men are abused, women are abused, children are abused, people are abused, humans are abused, animals are abused. Abuse is not just physical. It's verbal, it's mental, it's emotional, it's spiritual, it's financial. Abuse is abuse, and God doesn't approve it at all. And so but we have to be mindful of how we handle abuse, and when we are hurt, not to allow it to make you bitter, because hurt people hurt people. And hurt people can't receive love. They can't love because they're not feeling that love. And if you're not feeling that love, you can't give that love. It says that to love thy neighbor as thyself. So surely if you're not loving yourself because you're hurt or bitter, you can't really love somebody. I love you. You don't love me. You don't love yourself. So we have to really identify with the things that we say that really either build us up or break us down even more. that things that can come against us, that can distract us and take us off course, and or easily make you blindsided, but it is just a burden disguised over a blessing that's waiting to bless you. So during that time, I completed my hours, and at that point, George got my number, and we had some more things we had to encounter, like more counseling. I do believe in counseling. I believe in having an accountability partner. I believe in having someone that's more wiser than you, that has been in things longer than you. So at that point, we had to agree to go seek help. But again, that can blindside some people if they're not used to telling their business to people. I don't have any business. You don't have any business. It's all God's business. It's bigger than that. If you hold your story to yourself, you're cheating God. You're not even just cheating yourself, you're cheating God's people. And God is going to show you when you cheat what happens to cheaters. So therefore, don't hide your testimonies. Be able to share. So I had to share everything. He had to share everything. That can blindside you because now you want to feel like you're going to be judged. Again, I feel like I'm walking with this big X. But I've learned a thing about an X and an ex-con. I believe everyone is an ex-con. Because an ex-con is just a sinner saved by grace. Everyone has to be convicted. Amen. Before they can be confessing, to get a conversion, to get connected to Jesus, to be saved. So everyone is an ex-con. So God had to bring a balance in me, so therefore I could continue to stay connected to the lateral after I had connected to my vertical with him. And so during that time, me and George, we just followed, and I thank him for trusting me and trusting God, because who wants to trust an ex-con? But when you realize that we're all sinners and we're just living under God's grace, and we all need that mercy so we can make it to the other side, from the pit to the palace, then you won't get anywhere. But as long as you share the truth, then you're able to bring that grace and mercy to the table, and you can grow and grow closer to that individual, and you can grow closer to God through their relationship. It's all about relationship. This is a relationship. Amen. Yeah. This is a relationship, and I thank God for it. So God showed me how I had to learn to not be easily blindsided in moving forward from being hurt and have to suffer because of some of my choices. But he showed me that his promises are still mine. They're still mine. I just had another route. But he knew it long before then I was going to make those mistakes. And he had a plan in place for me. I thank God for that. I just thank God that he allowed me to have the strength to draw closer to him in the midst of that pit experience. So therefore, on my journey to the palace, I could just grab some hands and go. And that's why I thank God for willing vessels like Karen, willing vessels like Miss Helen, willing vessels like Miss Nunda, because they are obedient. It's all about being obedient. Everyone has to be obedient for a domino effect, for the connection to continue to travel, for everyone to make it to the ultimate palace, which is in heaven with him. I don't want anyone to go to hell. I want everyone to go to heaven. But if we don't be obedient, follow the leader, get connected, trusted in faith, and for the Father, being focused, then we're not going to get there. We're going to fall short. So I thank you all for this opportunity again, for allowing me to share that burdens do arise. But trust me, they're just there, like unwrapping a present with a great blessing, because that burden will teach you how to appreciate that blessing that's just waiting for you. So don't allow it to blindside you. Amen.
That was awesome. From the pit to the palace. You know what? All of us in prison. All of us in prison. We might not want to admit it, but we've all got some bars around us. So you know what? I just thank God, because the word says, where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. If it were not for God's grace, we'd all be ex-cons. And some of us really are ex-cons, but some of us are still cons. Let's catch up with you after a while. God didn't make us judge. jury. He just told us to love people. And the older I get, and the more I grow, the humbler I become. Because when I really look around and just say, God, I just thank you. I just thank you for your goodness and for your mercy and for your love. Tina, you blessed us today. Come on, let's give her some love. Sometimes we want to look at people's past and we want to judge people based on their past. What if God judged you based on your past? Let me go deeper. What if he judged you based on where you are now? I mean, if we really tell the truth, the Bible says we're still as filthy rags. Hello, somebody. And we can learn from one another. Tina is an awesome speaker. She's a trained professional musician, singer, seamstress. Karen, look what we would have missed.
I know. If we didn't follow the leader.
If we didn't follow the leader. And she does sign language. What a wonderful blessing today. Thank you, Tina. You blessed us. And Lord, we're so excited that you guys waited and did it right. Because we're so glad you're in her life. He was at our men's conference on last week. So let's show George some love. Thank God for George. Lord, we just appreciate all of you today, and we pray you've been blessed. And we want to say to our streaming audience, we pray you have been blessed today, and whatever the prison bars are that are around you, we pray in the name of Jesus that they come down. They can't come down until you get real with yourself. And you say, I am a sinner saved by grace. Sometimes when I look around and I say, Lord, I don't know what I would do without you. You know, I have this thing where I kind of call people crazy sometimes, and they tell me at the office don't say that, but I'm the craziest of them all. Really. We all have a little craziness inside of us. And it takes that craziness teamed up with faith to push us into another place. So from the Resource Center, we're excited about being partners with other people. We're not a church. We're just partners in the kingdom.
Amen.
Partners in the kingdom. And I don't know what all God has in mind, but I'm just saying, Lord, whatever you want to do, don't do it without me. Don't do it without me. Today you're sitting at a table. There's some cards on your table as Mr. Johnny plays softly. One table says